So, as a trainer around the country, she's created a community of people who are scalp scope analysts who have really helped to change the shape of, or change the ideas of how people think about their hair, and really educating the country on how they can have much better hair care with a fantastic line of products that she has assisted in formulating called the SOS system. So, without any further ado, I am going to have Doris Mosley talk about how we can release the stress. So, Doris?
Hey, great. Well, I'll say afternoon here, but it's evening somewhere else and maybe morning somewhere else. I don't know. But nevertheless, I am excited to be here and be a part of this awesome forum. And Kathy, you are just amazing. And I just love you, love you, love you. Met as strangers, ended up friends. Now we're family. So we can eat off the same plate, and I don't think we'll get mad with each other. But I am so excited. And you know what? Hair loss really has become an epidemic. So whether we accept it or not, it is here, it is among us, and we're going to have to deal with it, and we're going to have to get rid of it. And I'm so glad Kana is stepping out in the front to try to make this happen. Just like they have blue zones for health and living longer, we're gonna establish us a zone for hair loss and hair restoration, and that is my quest, and I won't stop until it happens. Today we are going to deal with stress, and stress is terrible, really, but it's everywhere. I mean, you just turn on the TV, the news. Students who were planning such great graduations have been in school for 4 years to look forward to this day, and now they're canceling a lot of the graduation. Can you imagine how stressful that is for families and for the graduates? That's not good. But our bodies, we are reacting to a perceived threat, stress, whether we imagine it or whether it is real. We have to deal with it. And some of the stresses that come upon us is deadlines, just like we have to July to get to Florida, to get what we need, the CVs, the points to get to Florida. Those are deadlines. So how are we handling that? We're going to either get out there and make it happen, or we're going to watch it happen. But we're still dealing with a deadline. Then we're under financial stress. A lot of us, and I don't know, who you are, you may not be under financial stress, but if you are, that's a form of stress that we don't like to deal with, whether we have too much money or not enough. Then pressure. Where's the pressure coming from? Yeah, I mean, from all walks. We're under a lot of pressure these days. And that's a lot of stress. And stress will destroy the body. And relationship issues. We some of us don't even know how to deal with relationships, whether it's family, whether it's your significant others, whether it's your spouse, whether it's your whoever. But it's still dealing with stress. And then we have the physical stress, like what I endured when I had this accident. This was devastating for me, and definitely it put me to deal with a lot of stress, still dealing with the stress of this accident. And it also can throw you in depression. And that just add to it. So stress, you deal with when you're under a lot of stress, we have hormones that are released. We have the cortisol and the adrenaline. You know how people say, oh, my adrenaline is just flowing. Yes. So, and that produces that flight or fight. You've heard of, you're either going to fight it or you're going to flight, mean you're going to escape it. But nevertheless, there it is. Now, each strand of hair, there is an erectile pillar muscle that is attached to that strand, just like the sebaceous gland, which secretes the sebum, the oil. We have that erectile pillar muscle that is attached to the strand. And when there's a flight or fight, that the hairs will stand up. Say, oh, my hair stood up on my, I was so scared. I was so frightened. The hair stood up on my arm because that muscle is responding. So you either gonna deal with it or you gonna run and escape it. Nevertheless, it's there. So we gotta make sure that we know the difference. We know when to deal with it. We know when to escape it. Because let me tell you, stress will cause you to lose your hair. Now, see, like Royal just flipped hers over. She's not gonna be she's not gonna be losing too much because she maybe know how to deal with her stress a little differently. Everybody deals with stress differently. But trust me, everybody has some kind of stress going on in their life. And I always, deal with anxiety. And when I deal with anxiety, I get me a gummy. We have some awesome gummies that can relax you. I mean, I have my arms fold so tight, like I'm hugging myself when I have those kind of attacks. But when I take a bite of that gummy, I find myself slowly releasing that hug or that tightness that I feel because that's a form of stress. Now, your hair is the barometer of the body. It lets you know something is going on inside. Now, whether we pay attention to it or not, it is there. And then we have different types of hair loss due to stress, like telogen effluvium. You've heard that term, right? Telogen effluvium. That's where a group of follicles gather up and they go in that resting stage. And when you get in the resting stage, that is the shedding stage. And when it becomes telogen effluvium, it becomes excessive. Okay, it becomes excessive and hair loss. Then you start noticing, oh my God, I know this is more than 100 strands. We actually shed anywhere from 50 to 100 strands a day. Whether you put it in a secure style, we say, oh, I'm gonna put it in a protective style. It doesn't matter what style is in. You could be losing up to 100 strands a day. Now, if it's braided up, or if you have a weave attached to the braids, it is still being released. It's going to be released, but guess what? It's not going to get off the head because you're not combing it, you're not brushing it, the wind is not taking it out. So you're going to still lose. Now, when you get ready to take that style down, you have all of that hair that would have been released, didn't get out, and it could be very frightening. So a client will look at that and say, oh my God, I'm losing my hair. And if a stylist is not aware of that, or if the client is not aware of that, that can be very stressful. Okay. And it only makes it more hair loss because now you're stressing over all that hair that you've seen, not knowing it came off anyway. And if you had been combing daily, it would have been blowing in. You wouldn't have seen it. So some stylists, they don't even know that. Trust me. And they may panic too without the client knowing. They think, oh my God, what did I do wrong? Where did it go? What happened? But that's a normal. But when it becomes effluvium, that's excessive. Something is going on in the body. See that your hair is the barometer. It lets you know something is not right. We need to pay attention to that. Then we have the alopecia areata. Now remember, alopecia is simply the medical term for baldness. So if I send my client to a dermatologist to be further checked out, and they come back and tell me, Doris, my dermatologist said I have alopecia. Well, I know what alopecia is, but what is the root of the problem? See, we just don't want to walk away and say, I have alopecia. Alopecia areata is the severe form of hair loss through stress, okay? It's those round patches of hair loss that appears on the head, and if left unattended, guess what? It can connect. I've seen those patches connect. Now, back in the day, before I got into becoming a trichologist, before I got into the knowledge of what's going on, we use stress for everything. We used to tell our clients, oh, you just stressing, because we didn't know no better. We didn't know nothing else to call it but stress. And if the client had anything negative going on in their lives, they took that as maybe this is the reason. But it didn't have to always be the reason, but that's all we knew. And we would say, you're under a lot of stress. This is why you're losing your hair. And it could have been, but it didn't necessarily have to be. So alopecia areata is a severe form of stress. Okay. So when you see somebody with patches, it could be AA. AA simply is alopecia areata. We want to make sure that we get them to dermatologists. We want to get them started on hemp powered hair oil because we have over 13 different certified oils in our hemp powered hair that could possibly help them, provided the follicle is still there. See, we don't guarantee. We operate strictly out of testimony. And Royal has been a great testimony, and we need to get other people on board so people can see it does work. Now, I always tell people it may not work for everybody, but it did work for me. And that's I was excited about. I can share it with other people as we do with testimonies. Testimonies is the greatest form of advertisement. Okay. Then we have trichotillomania. Trichotillomania is a form of alopecia where the person, and like I tell people, if you hear that word, trichotillomania, mania right there lets you know something is going on where? Mentally. Okay, something mentally is going on. And as a stylist, I used to listen to what clients was telling me, then that would let me know whether they needed to see a psychologist. See, the one thing as a stylist, we need to be able to recognize what is going on, listen to the clients, have that consultation. And if you see where they enjoy pulling their hair, and that's what trichotillomania is all about. It's about a person who pulls their hair out. Just sit up and pull it out. That's because there's some anxiety going on. There's something going on in that person's life that they need to talk it out, and not so much with me because I'm not qualified to handle that. So I recommend them. Just like I always used to tell stylists, you need to have 4 people in your Rolodex, and now it's in your smartphone. And that is a psychologist, that is a nutritionist, that is an endocrinologist, and that is a dermatologist. And an endocrinologist deal with the hormonal. And that's part of this stress. It can trigger your hormones not to be functioning properly. Okay. But trichotillomania, these people, they pull their hair out. Some of it pull it out behind the ear. They find that to be most relaxing. And when they pull it out, some eat it. Now that's very dangerous to eat that hair, but they do. They eat it. And if you have your trichoscopy and you examine their scalps and you see there's an area where there's a lot of short hair, but right in there's also long hair, that's an indication that that person could be dealing with trichotillomania, and they're not pulling it all at the same time. Okay, but you have to have that trained eye, to see that on your trichoscope. Okay, so that's important. So again, chronic stress triggers those type of hair loss. And then of course you have the hormonal changes. Chronic stress, again, it disrupts the hormonal balance. That's when you need to be able to identify that with the client by what they're sharing with you, get them to an endocrinologist, get them on the product. You don't have to wait until they go to a doctor, a medical doctor, or a dermatologist. I always suggest my clients, let's get started now. Let's get ahead of the game. See, the one thing about it, we don't get ahead of the game. We get behind the game. And it's harder to get behind it than staying ahead of it. Okay. Then we have poor lifestyle when it comes to stress. We don't eat right. We don't sleep good. All of this dealing with our stress factors. It's not good. And we don't take care of our hair. Once we get into a state of stress and depression, we don't take care of our hair. We don't, like I said, we make poor food choices. See, here at Akana, our CEO is really trying to get Akana in the blue zone. And when you get in the blue zone, that means you're eating better, you're sleeping better, you're living longer, you have less stress. It is amazing what the blue zone can be like if you get in the blue zone. So when you have the poor lifestyle just simply ends up being hair loss. Hair loss, again, the hair is the barometer of the body. It lets you know something is not right. So when you make these poor choices for your lifestyle, then what happens? You end up losing. And when you're having hair loss issues, most of the time you're 51% losing before you realize you have lost. Okay. 51%. That means you're over the halfway mark. Okay. Some people say, well, Doris, I don't need that. Girl, I have my hair is so thick and this and that. You want it to stay thick. You want it to stay healthy. Let's get on the drops. Let's start now, because as we mature and as we continue to have birthdays, we may end up having some of those challenges. And you do not want to get behind it. You want to get in front of it. So it's nothing wrong. Maybe we say use it 3 times a week. You may want to use it 1 time a week. Since you have such nice, thick, and healthy appearing hair, you may want to use it 1 time a week. But if you're challenged, you should use it 3 times. I used it every day because I was diagnosed with CCCA and I did not want to lose my hair. That was very devastating to me. And I got on it. I got consistent. I got persistent. I got all of that. And every day I use it. I use it topically and I use it as a tincture. And it worked for me. And a lot of people get it. They're they make a decision to purchase, but they don't make a commitment to follow through. They put it on their nightstand, they put it in their drawer, in their bathroom, and they say, it didn't work for me. Well, how long did you use it? Girl, I use it for like 2 weeks. 2 weeks is not enough. I share with people, if you're not going to commit to 6 months, don't get it. Don't get it, because hair don't grow like that. It grows 6 inches a year, okay? A fourth to an inch a month. And that is hair that is straight. Straight hair grows faster than curly or extremely curly hair, okay? So remember, you want to make sure that we're going to be stressing. That's without a doubt. Even pets are stressing. But it's how we deal with the stress determines what happens with the body. You definitely want to be able to, again, we have excellent gummies that help deal with stress and anxiety. It works for me all the time. I don't even need to take a whole one. I just take a bite off of one, and it really does work. So without further, if you guys have questions, let's share. If you have had experience with stress that have caused you to lose your hair, once you eliminate some, if not all of the stress, your hair will grow back, providing the follicle is still alive. If the follicle is gone, that strand of hair will not return. And remember, we were born with over 5 million follicles over the entire body. Over 100,000 of them made it to the head. If you lose one, you have lost a strand of hair. We do not want to lose. When we do our trichoscopy, we can tell if the hair is missing in areas. And if it is missing, that doesn't mean it won't come back, because it could be the follicle is sluggish, the follicle is sick, or something is going on, folliculitis, due to the fact that the pores were clogged. We couldn't get the toxins out. So if you can't get the toxins out, that means you can't get nothing in. So we want to make sure that we're on top of what's going on. And then inflammation. I tell clients, inflammation is an inside job. What are you putting in the body? Okay, that's causing all this inflammation. Most of the time, it's a lot of animal fat, it's a lot of sugar, a lot of carbohydrates, all and not enough water. Water is hydrate. Water is good for your cells as they split. The water is good for the body. 85 to 90% of the body is water. And if you're not hydrating the body, it's going to take on its own water. Questions or comments?
Ms. Doris, you
Yes.
said that we have about 20 so more of different oils for the hair. How do you have it?
In our hemp powered hair oil,
Yes.
yes, we have about 12 or 13 different oils, certified oils, and each one of them was put in to directly support something that's going on with the hair. For instance, if your scalp is itchy, burning, we have black seed oil in there that helps soothe that itchy scalp. Okay, if your blood doesn't flow as well, because if blood don't flow, hair don't grow. Then we have peppermint oil to stimulate the blood circulation. We have rosemary to help block DHT. So we have oils that was designated for a certain issue that the hair may have or the follicle may have.
What is this one? With that,
Girl, if you don't tell me what that is, because I can't see that.
with that emergency stand, I call it.
What it says?
It kind of scrubbed off a little bit.
Is it hemp? That's not hemp
see?
powered hair. That's not hemp powered hair.
What is okay?
Kathy may know. Kathy, are you on still? Kathy?
It had the similar, I call it emergency stand.
Yes, I'm still here. What were you saying, Betty? What are you holding
You
up?
want to know what is that? I can't see it, Kathy.
What is this right here, Miss Kathy?
I can't really see. Can you pull it closer to your camera? And
You
bring
got
it
the-
down a little bit.
I go by this. This is simmer sand down here. I call it emergency sand.
So it's got a red plus symbol on it.
Yes. What is that?
That sounds like Essential Defense. It's a oil drops, kind of smells cinnamony, and it's got some camphor and cinnamon in it. Do you smell that when you use it?
So it's eternal. Use eternal.
If it's Essential Defense, yes. I can't tell what that is from here, but generally the one that has the red plus symbol is either Essential Defense or Hemp MD. How many milligrams does it say on the bottom?
I don't know because I put a piece of tape on and kind of pulled off the writing, so that's why I can't tell.
There's no way for me to tell that either.
Okay. Okay. Okay, and I only have one of these, and I know it gotta be for eternity, right?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, we don't have anything that comes in those tinctures that are not used for internal.
Okay. Okay.
But if it has like I said, if it has the red plus symbol, it's either the Hemp MD or the Essential Defense. And you can tell by the ingredients, the Hemp MD only has 2 ingredients in it, which is
yeah. When I go on the computer, I will put it up and see if I can see more.
Okay, the Hemp MD only has 2 ingredients, which is the CBD and the carrier oil. And the Essential Defense has several essential oils in there that are known for helping to to get rid of infection, like cinnamon and lemon oil and things like that. Any other questions?
No, that'll be all for me. Well, I have a question for Miss Doris. Miss Doris, that Delta 8, is that the one that you be talking about taking to calm you down or whatever?
No, I take the gummy. I like the power gummy.
He likes the power gummies. The Delta 8 is a little bit stronger. So for those that really want to have a deep, deep sleep, may have a little bit more discomfort to deal with, Delta 8 is going to give you a little bit next level.
Okay. I think I had that at the conference. Royal, didn't I have that at the conference?
You might have too, yeah.
I was
Good.
I was out of it. I was
Was that the one
so
that you had before you went to the EE Center?
no, that was the one I had when we had the gala that night, and he had to turn the water into wine.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Yes, he
Oh my
did.
God.
Oh boy.
I said,
Oh,
what was I doing with that on a cane? I was I was so wobbly.
Oh, but you were relaxed.
Oh, past relaxed. I should have never done that. Never, ever.
But you did a great job. Nobody would never notice.
Don't
Promise,
talk about thank you.
promise. Nobody would have
Oh,
never
she did.
noticed.
She did it after her
After
speech.
that, that
Yeah,
was the
after the
gala
speech,
that
not
night.
during.
Oh, it
Yeah,
was at the gate.
that was
Oh, okay.
later on. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
But
okay.
I
It was
was
all
oh, I
good.
was out of it. Oh my God. They were laughing at me. I was out of it.
That's all right. It's one
Mm.
thing about our products, no matter what, they are healthy for us. For us, they're very healthy for us, and they can't harm us.
That's true. That's
At
true.
least they won't harm us.
Yeah, no side effects.
Right. There
Right,
you
right,
go. There you
right.
go.
We just
well,
have to
that's the beauty about something that's natural. The only side effect would be if you are allergic to something. Otherwise, it's all good for you.
Yes. Yes.
That's right. Love that.
So,
I just took a teeny tiny, just a teeny tiny, you can't understand, off the Delta 8 just a few minutes ago because I've been ripping running all day, and when I got up again, the phone just kept on ringing, my sister's in and out. So I just took a teeny when I heard Miss Dorsey take the something about the
So you
hemp.
took a bite of the gummy?
Yeah, I heard Miss Dorsey something about the gum.
yeah, I
I,
just take a
I
bite.
think that that's
I
right.
got the Delta 8. I got the
Well,
Delta 8
honey,
just
I'm glad you took a
pinch.
teeny tiny.
I
Yep, all you
did just
need is
teeny tiny. I mean, it was
all
so
you
teeny
need is a
tiny,
pinch, baby girl.
and
Yeah.
I do feel relaxed.
Yes.
Good, good.
I mean, it was just a teeny tiny piece.
Good.
It
Don't
takes
take much.
to kick in, though. It takes a little while. Well, everybody's different, but for me, it takes a while for it to kick in. But once it
Yeah.
kicks in, it's
That's true. It kicks when it
Mhm.
does. That's very true. Well,
all
ladies, any other questions for our expert here?
right.
Remember, stress is not good. It's how we deal with it. We either gonna fight or we gonna flight, whichever
All
one
right.
you got to do. But you got to deal with it.
Okay, ladies, I do have a question. Um, we have some people, and that you can't really get cross to about our good products we have.
Yeah.
And I am trying my hardest to get some to go to with me. I'm trying to rent a van, to get a group of people to go to the EE Center. Could you all elaborate, give me some tips on how to explain the EE Center to these people more better? And maybe I'm not doing a good job.
I would say use the video. Trying to explain something that is a very, very new technology and concept, especially a concept that's never been introduced into our community, is very difficult. So
Yeah.
I would use the videos and let them know I've been introduced to this technology that's making me feel better, it's helping me sleep better, my pain, whatever your results have been in visiting the EE Center. And hey, I would like to share that with y'all. Who wants to go with me? Here's a video that'll tell you all about it. I don't know about it. I'm learning out more about it, but what I know is it makes me feel better. That's plain and simple.
Will you send me that video?
It makes me feel better. Yeah, there's a couple of them actually out there. You have your app downloaded, correct, on your phone?
I do, but it been acting up. It been acting up. Let me see.
You might wanna take it off and put it back on, but the best videos are in there. There's a couple of EE Center videos that are in the resources tab. So I would take it off your phone and put it back on.
Um, okay,
Because there was an update that was given.
I
Any-
don't know really what's going on with it. With my when I click on it, it don't want to act right or something. Maybe I
Yeah,
need
you
to go in
might-
there
You
Read
might
it.
want to, yeah, you might want to just take it off and put it back on. Any other questions for Doris? Any other questions for Doris on the hair, on her subject today, releasing the stress? Doris, you're awesome.
Thank you, Kathy.
And I'll shoot you that email, let you see where I'm at with that
Oh,
form.
okay.
And then we will get it together. It's on Saturday, correct?
Correct.
Okay, yeah, I'll get that to you.
And they're
I'll
estimated over 10,000 women.
Well, what I was thinking about is I'll put it in the email, but I think you ought to have a QR code. That'll help.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? A QR code to the form. So I'll see if I might be able to help create that. That'll make it easier for you.
Oh,
You know, something to be there for raffle, but also something that people can just scan.
okay. Okay.
Okay, cool. All right, ladies. Well, listen, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Monday. Thank you so much for joining us today, taking a little time out of your Monday for us. And Doris, as always, thank you.
Okay. Make it a great day, you guys.
Y'all have a wonderful day.
Less stress.
Less stress.